Hey guys, welcome to another episode of RogueSpirit Reviews. It's great to be back here again. How have you guys been? How are you guys doing? As for your boy Rogue, you know I'm doing good. I'm doing my thing. Everything's good on my side. Anyways, I just kind of wanted to make a little short video discussing the remake of Resident Evil 4, which in my opinion is one of the best games ever created. I love the original 2005 version. It had a lot of action. You know, the gameplay was very tense. Ganados all up in your face, and you had limited resources. It was a really fun experience, and for the time I remember it being really challenging on the original GameCube, and I loved every second of it. Resident Evil 4, I still play that game till this very day. Mercenaries mode, I love everything. The Ada Wong DLC, side missions, I loved it all. Fantastic game. If you haven't played Resident Evil 4, I highly recommend it. Go back, give it a try. Maybe you'll like it. You have to like it. It's amazing. Anyways, so in this video, I just kind of want to go over my top wish list and things that I expect to be in the remake to kind of, you know, add more variety to the gameplay and spice up the original experience so that we're getting more. And the things that I'm going to go over is just my own personal opinion. Maybe you guys have your own wish list, own theories on how Capcom could make this game even more better than it already is. Be sure to share down in the comment sections. Let's talk about it. Resident Evil 4 remake. I am so excited. I cannot wait. I believe March 24th, 2023. I'm there. Day one, your boy Rogue is gonna review that game for sure. But yeah, thanks for being here with me, guys. If you are new, then welcome to the channel. Like and subscribe if you like the content. And if you are a returning subscriber, then welcome back. It's great to have you here. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this video. So with that said, let's get right into it.
Where's everyone going? Bingo?
Whenever a new announcement drops for a brand new Resident Evil game, it always feels like it's my birthday. I don't know, but in my opinion, nothing beats the satisfying feeling of surviving through monster-infested areas, carefully backtracking and deciding which items to pick up and leave, always pushing on ahead and conquering your fears. Taking down the evil Umbrella Corporation and then aiming a huge rocket launcher at a tyrant monster, watching it blow up to pieces, smiling ear to ear as I appreciate some very old school gory graphics, and then hopping onto an escape helicopter, reflecting on the adventure as you watch your city get nuked. Ah, good times. Good times. I love Resident Evil and their happy endings, and I'm so excited for the remake of Resident Evil 4. Damn, Capcom just aimed their shotgun up towards our faces and boom, bit slapped us with the new Resident Evil 4 remake trailer, and honestly for me, it makes the rest of 2022 so exciting leading into 2023 as Capcom fired on all cylinders by just announcing that the Resident Evil 4 remake is indeed very real. No more rumors. It's real, guys. It's confirmed. Resident Evil 4 Remake is releasing in 2023 on the 24th of March. And for that reason alone, your boy Rogue just had to hop on the mic, and for this video I really just want to talk about the remake and share my own opinions on what I think they should add to the overall experience and what problems they should fix from the original in this remake, and just kind of geek out. Well, whip out the red 9, then aim and fire at the subscribe and like button, and with that said, let's go. Resident Evil 4 Remake was announced during the PlayStation 5 Sony State of Play on June 2nd, 2022, and as a fan of the new Resident Evil remake, I am so excited. I just had to go back and travel in time and revisit this masterpiece. That's right, you heard me. Resident Evil 4 is a masterpiece. Let's just face the facts. Despite minor flaws that I had with the game personally, the top-notch, brutal, gory action gameplay, hilarious villains, top-notch, cheesy one-liners, playing as Chad. Nah, seriously, Leon is red pill as fuck. He doesn't even take up Sherry's offer on doing some overtime duty after saving her. And she's the daughter of the President of the United States. I'm just saying, Leon. Basically, Resident Evil 4 is amazing, but I want Capcom to really go all out with this remake, and here's my personal list of what I think they should add to the remake to give us that ultimate Resident Evil 4 experience. While I love the original storyline and moments from the original Resident Evil 4, I do have to admit that the tone, while being serious at times, was mostly just cheesy small talk, filled with hilarious one-liners, which in my humble opinion, completely killed and toned down the horror and scare factor, big time. I would just laugh and appreciate the silliness and enjoy the ride. But it's not 2005 anymore, and I have grown up a lot since then. One thing I very much appreciated from the current remakes in the Resident Evil franchise is that they are retelling a more serious, darker toned, somewhat realistic story in these remakes, and the scare and horror factor is at an all-time high, and the new storylines really kept me intrigued and on edge, until I could finally relax once I saw the credits start rolling on the endgame credit screen, and that was awesome. And the remakes are the reason I love Resident Evil right now, and now it's time for Resident Evil 4 to get the same treatment. It's time for Capcom to go really all out and tell us a horrifying and over-the-top dark story about Leon overcoming the past in order to survive and help Ashley escape the parasite-infested Ganados. During the story, I really want to see Leon struggle with his mental health as he succumbs to the Las Plagas infection and holds on to the more human side of himself, barely holding on to dear life, just so he can reach Ashley and escort her back to the President in time. Basically, I want Capcom to really surprise us with the story we are already way too familiar with, and add some more lore and world building in this new rebooted world of Resident Evil 4. I am hoping for a more grounded, psychological horror story in which the main cast of characters, despite their training and background, are more vulnerable and down to earth and realize that the world is a messed up place to exist in right now, thanks to the zombie apocalypse and the events which Leon has witnessed during the Raccoon City zombie pandemic, and all of this with the next gen graphical and hardware capabilities on the PlayStation 5 with the fantastic RE engine. I really want this remake to make me feel as if I'm right there with Leon Kennedy, and I want to share and feel the burden which has been placed on his shoulders as a way of making up for all the wrong mistakes which he has made from the second game, like not being able to save Ada Wong in time, which is his dear love interest. But then now in Resident Evil 4, Leon meets up with Ada Wong again, and I'm sure he has much questions for her. I would love them to explore that as well. I want to see some disturbing choices that Leon might have to make, and see true character development for our favorite zombie war hero. Maybe at the start of the game, Leon is more edgy and nervous, but as the story goes on, he grows more into the badass that we all know and love at the end of the game, and overcomes his mental barrier, also overcomes his own fears. Yeah, I would really like to see Leon struggle mentally as he slowly succumbs to the Las Plagas infection. Okay, so I shared some of my wishes and changes that I would love to see for the story in Resident Evil 4, but now let's talk about some other things that I think Capcom should add in the remake. Ada Wong is one of my favorite Resident Evil characters. She is so mysterious and unpredictable at times, and who knows what her end goals are, but I would not only love to see more of Ada Wong in this remake, but I would appreciate it if she was also playable, and that we get a chance to see what she's up to in the story of Resident Evil 4 Remake whenever we get the chance to play as her. And this is a good time to expand on her story and develop her character character some more so that fans can see another side of her perhaps, and why she's doing what she's doing, like working for Wesker for example. And they really need to add more cutscenes which involve both Leon and Ada Wong, as well as some battle sequences where Leon and Ada have to survive against a horde of creepy new gen Ganados by working together to slowly take them out one by one. Now that would be interesting. In the original Resident Evil 4, whenever Louis has to dip, I always wondered what was happening on his side of the fence, and it was a shame we never really got to play his side of the story, so the remake would be the perfect chance for adding in Louis as the main playable character in the story mode campaign and the mercenaries mode. Give Louis his own special weapons and gadgets and abilities so he feels different enough from Leon, and really make him shine in this remake. Speaking of Louis having his own weapons and abilities, I remember that in the original Resident Evil 4, I remember guiding and escorting Ashley, the president's daughter, throughout the majority of the main game story mode, and I remember her always getting kidnapped by the parasite possessed Ganados a lot. And I remember this game mostly feeling like a huge escort mission, which I didn't mind as much because Capcom did a perfect job not making it that annoying. But this time around, I want them to up the intensity of the gameplay. Instead of making Ashley weak and defenseless, I think that in the remake it would be a fantastic idea for Ashley to be equipped with real ballistics this time around. Wink wink, see what I did there? Give her her own unique weapons and abilities which she can use to fend off and defend against the supernatural enemies of the night. She should be in there helping Leon survive as well, and this would make the situation that both Leon and Ashley are in appear more realistic because they are fighting to survive with their lives intact, and becoming one of the parasite possessed Ganados isn't an option here. I expect the remake will toss a lot more bad guys in our faces, and it would make sense that Ashley would need to defend herself in case she gets separated from Leon throughout the main campaign. I would also love to see Leon get new weapons and gadgets throughout the adventure as well. The original Resident Evil 4 had an amazing adaptive difficulty feature where if you are doing very good, the game decides to challenge you by adding an extra enemy here and there or give you fewer resources, while on the other hand, if you are struggling to survive against the creatures of the night, the game's difficulty will change so that the battles will become easier and less challenging the more times that you die. This difficulty system makes Resident Evil 4 very approachable, and it's one of the most approachable games in the Resident Evil series in my humble opinion. Not only that, but Resi 4 has an amazing cast of villains and terrifying enemies which you had to face and survive against, and I would love the remake to really challenge us here. It would be awesome if at the start of the game you start off with very little resources and are put into very stressful situations, and it has more of that classic horror survival feel to it. But as you continue on in the game and upgrade Leon's skills and level up his weapons, I would love the difficulty to keep amping up the intensity and horror and start feeling more like the classic Resident Evil 4 where the gameplay becomes way more heavy action focused and we are forced to use each and every weapon just to survive, while the game throws us into next level over the top ridiculous explosive situations which we have to survive through. Last but not least, I would love for Capcom to add new terrifying enemies and boss fights in this remake. Sure, keep all of the original enemies like the Chainsaw Sisters and the creepy breathing regenerators and camouflaged humanoid insects. I love it, keep it. But I would love to encounter brand new terrifying enemies in this remake. Make the enemies more scary and unpredictable and in your face. I want my anxiety to go up as the game keeps me guessing as to what brand new enemy type am I going to encounter next alongside the Ganados. And thanks to the new gen console capabilities and the RE engine, add a Mr. X enemy that stalks you throughout the Ganado village and beyond. Give us a real representation of what Nemesis should have been like in the Resident Evil 3 remake, but this time take the brakes off. How cool would it be? You think you have all the enemies figured out? You think you know each corner of the map like the backside of your hand? Then BAM! Menendez breaks through a wall and starts to relentlessly pursue you everywhere, even inside of the safe rooms, until you finally beat him in an all-out, horrifying, intense, gory boss fight, which is just a taste for what's to come next. Do it, Capcom. Give it to me. I can handle it. Now, on top of all of this, give us new locations to explore in the game, new areas, deep in the lore. You know, give us that definitive Resident Evil 4 experience. You know, show us what the original game could have been. But now that we have new gen technology and modern console hardware like the PlayStation 5, I think it's really time that they show us what they envisioned back in 2005. Resident Evil 4 back on the Nintendo GameCube in 2005 was such a game changer. That game revolutionized third-person action shooter games till this very day, and I am so excited to see how Capcom is going to reinvent that and change third-person action shooters all over again in 2023 and for the years to come. This is the perfect chance, and I'm excited to see what Capcom has in store for us with the Resident Evil 4 remake. And I know that the main Resident Evil team, the guys that are in charge for, like, the guys who were in charge of Resident Evil 2 remake, are back working on this one, and I have to say that Resident Evil 3, the remake, they really cut out a lot of content, and that overall ruined the experience for me. But I still think it was an enjoyable game, but it had a lot of flaws and the game was very short. So I'm hoping that Capcom fixes all of these issues in the upcoming Resident Evil 4 remake. Well, that's all I got for today, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in, and if you liked the video, don't forget to comment down in the comment section. Let me know what you guys think and feel about Resident Evil 4 remake coming out very soon in 2023, March 24th, 2023. So yeah, I'm super excited. I can't wait for this game. This is truly amazing. Like, I get to re-experience the magic of Resident Evil 4 all over again, and this opportunity comes once in a lifetime. So I'm just hoping that Capcom can once again knock it out of the park and give us that ultimate Resident Evil 4 experience by fixing some of the flaws that were present in the original game, and by adding new characters, new gameplay, new lore to the overall Resident Evil franchise. And yeah, I just can't wait. I'm excited. I'm excited to see how the storyline in Resident Evil 4 remake connects with the other storylines from the most recent remakes and retelling of the Resident Evil franchise, and how it fits into the storyline overall. And are we gonna see, you know, callbacks to Resident Evil Village, some Easter eggs from the most recent games? How does it all connect overall? I can't wait, and I think Capcom is gonna do fantastic. So with that said, are we gonna see a remake for Resident Evil 5 and 6 as well? I believe so, but you know, let's see where this goes. Be sure to share what you guys think down in the comment section. I can't wait to put Sadler in his place by shooting a rocket launcher right in his face. So yeah, I can't wait. Anyways, guys, thanks again for watching, and I'll catch you guys on the next episode of RogueSpirit Reviews. If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe, like, and of course comment. And you guys have a fantastic weekend. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.
Community, Raccoon City, and hit the peaceful little town with a devastating blow crippling its very foundation. Not taking any chances, the President of the United States ordered a contingency plan to sterilize Raccoon City.